Okay, hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the information seminar, Journal from Interest to Profession in Nutrition and Dietetics. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Gigi So from the Food and Nutrition team in HKU SPACE. Thank you very much and welcome all of you joining this information seminar with us this afternoon, and also for the audience in the classroom and also the audience or viewers on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining us. Before we start the information seminar, I will introduce my team first. So on my left-hand side is Dr. Wendy Ma. She's a dietitian and also senior program director in our subject group. And then Dr. Lillian Yuan, she's a nutritionist and a program manager in our team. And also Ms. Kemi Yuan, she's also a dietitian and a program manager in our team as well. The four of us today will be going through the information seminar with you. And after our sharing, if you have any questions, feel free to speak up at the end of the session and we will answer your questions. And for audience on YouTube, if you have any questions, you can also type in the chat box and we will also try to answer all your questions. So without further delay, let me pass the time to Lillian to kick off the sharing.
Yep. Thank you once again for joining the talk. I'm quite sure no matter you are now here or online, you are interested in the field of food and nutrition. Actually, you can see on the slide, food and nutrition is a science discipline, but most importantly, actually, it's field of daily life applications. That means no matter what you eat today, or basically you think of about food, then it is all in our daily life and very useful to us. And you can see on the screen, I'm not sure a bit small, but you can see if actually your body will be determined by what kind of food that you choose. If you choose very healthy food like veggie, like a lot of fruit in it, then you can see the body actually will be thinner. And another one, actually, if you have a lot of junk food that include pizza, include a lot of dessert, etc., then you can see the body size will become bigger and bigger. That means in terms we call obesity. So if you got obesity, actually you will increase a lot of risk of chronic diseases. Therefore, it is very important for us to know more about food and nutrition so that it can help us. But of course, not only you can help yourselves, but you can actually develop into a wide range of career options. And if you study food and nutrition and step by step and you go further study, and then you can actually develop into like food science related career options, or you also got nutrition related option. So I'm going to give you 2 slides that actually about what kind of job that in food science field and what kind of job that you plan ahead for the nutrition field. And then later on, we'll pass to my colleague to talk about some option that in space so that you can choose in the future. And then first, this will be about the career in food industry. You may not ever think of what kind of things that you can do, but actually in everything that you buy from the market, this is produced from the food industry. Actually, in the food industry, you got a wide range of jobs. For example, the first one, R&D, research and development. Research development is a very important department in the company because customer actually will get bored because of the same product. Even the product is very famous for some time, we need to make a change. So therefore, a lot of employee actually, if they got ideas in food science, then they can work in the R&D department to develop some new product so that it can help to maintain the business of the company. And of course, if we want to make some good food, definitely quality with that we should maintain. Therefore, QA, quality assurance, and quality control is some of the job that in the food industry, and a lot of students actually after study food science, they can have a chance to work in this 2 area in the food industry. And of course, nowadays, many people are concerned what are they eating. So therefore, also important to equip our students with some knowledge in testing. So actually, food testing is also a very important field now. And of course, I'm quite sure that some of you have ever thought of setting up some own business, especially like your restaurant, or nowadays a lot of people enjoy cafe. That means drinking coffee and enjoy their life in the cafe. So therefore, food service is also some people after some students after study our course, and then they will start up their own business. So therefore, this will be some career option that after you study food science or food related subjects. And of course, a lot of you actually, when you come here, you are talking about nutrition because it's actually a lot of things, or you can see a lot of nutrition information from our daily life. Not only help yourselves, but also you can help to think about whether you would like to become a nutrition. After become a nutritionist, what kind of job that you can do. And you can see that we can got a wide range of options that you can work when you are become a nutritionist. For example, like public health nutrition and health promotion. That means after you learn some information about nutrition, after helping yourselves, you also want to help the society. And therefore, you can do some promotion or education to teach people how to eat healthy as well. And therefore, you got nutrition education. And as well, like in food industry, they also need nutritionists, for example, some menu planning, etc. And wide range of research job also after studying nutrition that you can involve in. So therefore, I just give you some ideas briefly, very fast, that give you some ideas what after study for science, what you can do, and after study nutrition, what kind of related job that you can engage into. So let me pass to Cami, because later on, she will give you more information how to become a nutritionist. Okay, Cami.
Okay, thanks, Lillian. So to become a nutritionist, first you will need to have bachelor degree in food and nutrition sciences. So to become a nutritionist, HKU SPACE also offers a bachelor degree in food and nutrition extension program here. So this program is run in collaboration with Alton University, and there are a lot of couple pathways that you can get to this bachelor degree. Okay, so it really depends on your academic background. So from this table might look a bit complicated, but from the left-hand side, you can see here, if you are a higher diploma holder in food and nutritional sciences, you can go straightly into our bachelor degree. This is very straightforward. But if you hold degree in biological related sciences already, there are a few bridging courses you may need to study. But to make sure which bridging courses you will need, you can send your transcript to our inquiry email, and our program team will advise which bridging courses you will need to study. So, on the other hand, if you are already a degree holder, but in a different disciplines like accounting or business or etc., you will need to study 4 bridging courses as listed here, and I will talk about these advanced certificates later in more detail later. So after studying these bridging courses, you can get to the bachelor degree as well. But last but not least, if you already completed HKCEE or HKDSE and you already have some working experience, you can also study 7 bridging courses to get to our bachelor degree program. So I will talk about each of the advanced certificates a more detailed here. So the first course to introduce is Advanced Certificate in Nutrition. So this program is one of our popular programs. So say if you are interested in nutrition but you don't really know where to start. So this is a good entry course that you will learn the basic of nutrition. What do we mean about basic nutrition is that like we always heard about like carbohydrates, what can be found in like breads and rice. Some people say, oh, we don't want so much rice, or it's not good for our health. But if it's really true, to give you a full answer, you will need a full picture of the science base. What can they do to our body, and why our body need it? So we will need to study the basic principles of nutrition. And as I always think about is a good foundation is very important if you want to master any knowledge or any skills. So here, and also it will talk about, as here we can see the food safety. And food safety is one of the topics that we concern nowadays as well. And the next program is a more focused program. It's a clinical nutrition and health promotion. So it will be, if you are interested in some clinical like health conditions, it will talk about like dietary management, like how do we manage diabetes, some common diseases, maybe cancers or other diseases. How do we eat for these kind of health conditions, if you are interested. And also it will talk about health promotion as well. I think it is interesting topic too. So more than that, we also have child and adolescent nutrition program. So as children, as parents, we always concerned about the growth of our children, and we just want them to be healthy, right? So this program is more focused on this age range. And as you can see the picture here, so we do, for these different advanced certificates, we do have different dietetic activities, some workshops. For example, you can see the computers here. So we will do some like nutrient analysis. So if we want to know if our meals are really can achieve what we need, like daily need, we need to analyze to know what's inside in our meals. So we do have a computer lab here, and also some of the advanced certificate also have hold activity in our dietetic clinic. Yeah. So the next advanced certificate is sport and exercise nutrition. As Paris Olympics is coming, and we are all very excited since we have gold medalists in the last Olympics. So sport nutrition is also a hot topic, and this program provides knowledge in sports nutrition specifically. What do I mean is that we do have different situations. If you are interested in sports, or even if you participate in any like competitions like marathons, this program will provide knowledge in sports nutrition area for different situations and different sports types like endurance, power types, different. So and also this program is a CEF reimbursable program. So if you or your friends or even your family are involved in exercise, this program can be a good option for you. So I will pass the time to our, to Lillian to talk about the other advanced certificate.
Yeah, just now I mentioned that if you would like to start up your own food business, or you are interested in some food science, especially like food safety course, then these 2 certificates are suitable for you to apply. Then that one is Advanced Certificate in Food Service Management. From the name, food service, like the catering business. So therefore, in the certificate, we will teach you different information. The first one will be nutrition, because that will be some background, some basic information that you should know. And then the second one will be some food service system management. For example, the procurement step, how we can manage our inventory, as well as step by step, how you can set up the catering inside. That means to attract more customers, and then where the toilet locate, etc. That means the whole service system. That means you will learn, and then you can help to manage at the after you complete, and then after you start your business. The information are extremely important for you. And then of course, within the catering service, not only about food, not only about the price, etc., how to set up the price. Most importantly, you also need to manage the human resources information, because you got chef, you got other employee that you need to manage. Therefore, we also will equip students some basic management skill. This will be the food service management, and the same that it is CEF course, so that you can consider this one. And then the second one that I want to introduce to you will be the quality control and food safety management one. Of course, from the name that you will learn about will be food safety, because if any food company, they got some food poisoning issue, then actually will damage the image. So therefore, we definitely will need to emphasize food safety in the industry. So therefore, you will learn some regulation, you will know how to do the checking up, etc. So therefore, in this course, we also will got a site visit. You will learn to do some inspection, etc., some activity to that. And you can see the blue highlight there. That will be a recognized hygiene manager training course as well. So therefore, if you would like to become a hygiene manager, this certificate that you can consider. And the same that with the food service management, also CEF reimbursed course. And if you complete advanced certificate in food service management, also if you complete the advanced certificate in quality control and food safety management, then you award an advanced diploma in food business management. So therefore, it actually in a whole sentence is to design and train to prepare students who would like to work in the food industry. So you can consider these two certificates. And this pictures is to let you to know more that the site visit situation. So that this is some photo to let you know that if you got a chance to visit, then we may have different chance. Sometimes we go to some ponds, sometimes we'll go to the catering like cafe to do the inspection, because no matter the scale of the business is small or big, we still got some regulation checkup in by the department. So therefore, students will have a chance to do this kind of visiting. And the next certificates that I want to give you some ideas will be the Advanced Certificate in Food Science. From the name, that means food science. That means before we eat the food, actually, what kind of things that will happen in the food itself, actually food science. And in this certificate, we got 4 modules. The first one will be food microbiology and food safety. Just now I mentioned about food poisoning cases. Actually, somehow it related to the microorganism that present in it. Of course, microorganism can be a good one. It also can be a bad one. For those good ones, for example, like yogurt, like probiotic drinks, that we need them, there will be some good bacteria that can help us to build a healthy gut. But of course, most importantly, we also need to know some bad one, because the bad one that if we have overdosed it, then we may have a chance to get food poisoning cases. So therefore, our students should know more about food microbiology if they would like to know more about food science. And then of course, food chemistry and analysis. What are we eating? What are the chemicals that are present in the food? What are the reactions behind? All of them are related to food chemistry. And if you look at the food label, you will know that how many grams of carbs there, how many grams of protein there, it all related to food analysis. So our students actually will got a chance to do the laboratory work, so that they will know how to test the food analysis. For example, testing the protein in it, testing the carbohydrate content, etc. And the last one you can see that will be food processing and passivation. So you will know, after you study this course, you will know what are you eating, and then what will be the raw material, and from step by step, how they become the final product that you can consume. Just like the milk that we are drinking, some of them can put in the refrigerator, some of them can put on the shelf without 4 degrees Celsius storage. What are the major difference? What are the processing in it? After this module, all the students will have the ideas as well. You can see I just now mentioned we got 4 modules, right? In it we only got 3 because the last one will be the laboratory, some work, okay, the lab work. And we got students will have a chance to do food my lab. You can see on the figures as well that to test some microorganism in the food that they are eating, as well as just now I mentioned testing the carbohydrate content, protein content, etc. And they also will have a chance to do sensory evaluation because after the food products, whether they can sell on the market, we need to conduct sensory evaluation. So students also will have a chance to do that. So therefore, the course actually give you some theory at the same time, will give you ideas how to do in the real setting. If you work in this industry, normally what food science people will do. Then I will pass to Gigi to talk about the advanced certificate in human biochemistry.
Okay, thank you, Lillian. And so this is last but not least, actually, after sharing from Kemi and Lillian, I believe that you already have many different names of our advanced certificates in your mind. I hope you are not too filled yet, because this is the last one, the Human Biochemistry and Physiology program. The reason for having this more scientific program is that you can think that as a layman, I know that taking a low-carb diet may help me to lower my body weight, but is that true? What is the science behind? And after eating food, what is the fate of the food in our body? We, as a nutritionist, or maybe in the future as a dietitian, we need to know the science basics. And that's why we need this advanced certificate in human biochemistry and physiology to equip our students with the science basics of the fate of the food inside our body after we consume them. And within this advanced certificates program, we have different modules to teach our students human physiology. That means how our body works. What are the functions of our intestines or of our different internal organs to help us digest or metabolize the food. And we then have modules on human biochemistry. When we teach students, we always tell our students, physiology, you can look at it as a macroscopic view of how food is metabolized in our body. And then when we go to the human biochemistry part, we look into the microscopic picture, how our cells work to help the metabolism. So in this certificates, we have physiology modules and then biochemistry modules. And because this program is a more scientific program, we also have lab sessions. So students are not only learning in the lectures, we also provide them with real opportunities working in the laboratory to see how it really works. So students not only learn in the classroom, but also in our laboratory to do some hands-on experiments. So this is the advanced certificate in human biochemistry and physiology. So just now we went through all the advanced certificates programs in Hong Kong U SPACE that equip students with different academic backgrounds to get into our BSc program. I see that some of your faces may find it, why am I asked to study so many advanced certificates before I can get into this BSc program? Let me explain to you. This BSc program is actually a top-up degree program, which means that it is equivalent to a final year of the degree study. So you can imagine that if I just go to the university to study a degree program, usually I need to take 3 or 4 years to complete a degree. But for our BSc program, because it is a top-up degree program, it is actually equivalent to the final year. And for students to get into this final year of degree study, we need students to have some knowledge in food and nutrition by taking the advanced certificates programs. So you can imagine the study of the advanced certificates programs as the first or second years of a degree study. So I hope I can solve your queries at this moment. And then I will talk more about the BSc Food and Nutrition program that we offered in Hong Kong U SPACE. And this BSc program, we are not the only awarding body. We deliver this program in collaboration with Ulster University in the United Kingdom. I'm not sure whether you have heard of Ulster University before. If you are very keen to become a dietitian, you may have heard of this name because in collaboration with Ulster University, Hong Kong U SPACE offer the postgraduate diploma in dietetics, which Wendy will talk more in more details later. This is still the only program in Hong Kong that trains registered dietitian. So we have been collaborating with Ulster University to offer nutrition and dietetics program for nearly 20 years. Then you may ask, why Hong Kong U SPACE wish to collaborate with Ulster to deliver program? I can tell you that the main reason is definitely because of their high academic standing. If you may not believe me if I just talk, so I wish to share with you some figures. So on the slide, you can see that according to the Guardian 2023, in the field of nutrition, particularly in the field of nutrition, Ulster was ranked #1 in the United Kingdom. So you see why we are collaborating with them in terms of the food and nutrition programs. And other figures, including Ulster was ranked top 5 in UK for biomedical sciences, and their food and nutrition is actually housed under the biomedical science faculty. And also for the food science, Ulster was ranked top 10 in UK as well. So I hope these figures can give you some answers or some idea why we are collaborating with Ulster to offer this BSc program. So let's have a closer look at the BSc program. So in Hong Kong U SPACE, this program is offered in 2 modes, the part-time mode and the full-time mode. For part-time mode, it is especially suitable for mature adult learners who usually have a full-time job in the daytime, and then our students come to join us after the whole day work. And then for the full-time program, it is mainly targeted to those higher diploma or AD holder of food and nutrition. So after they finish their higher diploma or AD studies, then they continue their degree with us. Having said that, we also have a lot of full-time students, students who study the full-time BSc actually are also mature adult learners, but they have a more flexible work schedule, so they decided to join the full-time mode of the BSc program. So depends on your own work schedule, you can choose to study the BSc program, either the part-time or full-time. So is there any difference between the part-time and full-time? Actually, the only difference is the class time. For the part-time program, because most of the students have daytime job, so all the classes will be held in the evening in weekdays. But for the full-time program, because most students are dedicated to full-time study, so most of the classes are arranged in daytime in weekdays. So that's the major difference between part-time and full-time. But no matter students enroll into the part-time or full-time mode of the BSc program, the curriculum will be the same. So you will be studying the same content. So you don't have to worry about any difference. Is full-time students have more to study than the part-time students? No. All of our students will be studying on the same curriculum. And since this program is offered in collaboration with Ulster University, so we are adopting their curriculum into this program. So this curriculum that means if you study with us in Hong Kong U SPACE, the modules that you are going to study here will be the same as the students who are studying in Ulster University in UK. So we have the same curriculum as Ulster University. So our students can have a more global perspective, having all this global content. But then one feature of this program is that we have a lot of local speakers. So that we have local dietitians, nutritionists, and also professionals working in the field. So students are also equipped with some local aspects and how the different dietary guidelines or food regulations in Hong Kong and in the region are like. So students will have both global and local perspective in terms of food and nutrition for studying this program. And for this program, in terms of teaching and learning, similar to our other advanced certificate programs, we don't only have lectures or tutorials in the classroom. We want to ensure our students are well equipped before they graduate from our programs. So we always have different voluntary activities that are outside the classroom. For example, we have different site visits to local food manufacturers and also big institutions. Like recently, we visited the Hong Kong Sports Institute to see how their sports dietitian work there. And then we also have a collaboration with different professional bodies in Hong Kong. For example, the Hong Kong Nutrition Association. So students who study with us are not only learning the curriculum. we are also learning outside the textbook. We also want to equip our students with most updated science knowledge in food and nutrition. That's why we have regular, or I should not say regular. We sometimes organize different academic seminars with different professional bodies, so that students can have most up-to-date knowledge in the field. And we also offer arrange voluntary internship opportunities for our students, especially for the full-time students, because we wish to equip them well before they can really get into the industry. So we have established relationship with like district health center to arrange voluntary internship opportunities for our students. All these are all voluntary activities, because we understand that some students, they have full-time job, they may not have time in the daytime to join this activity. So all of them are voluntary to enrich the learning experience of our students. So this is the BSc Food and Nutrition program. I will then pass the time to Cami to talk about what you can do after becoming a nutritionist.
Thank you, Gigi. And so after obtaining a bachelor degree in food and nutrition, Hong Kong U SPACE also offers some postgraduate programs that you can study further. So here are 3 of the main postgraduate programs that we offer. So the first program is postgraduate certificate in community nutrition. So no matter if you are already a nutritionist or if you are a dietitian from graduated from other countries, because we know that some degrees may not have many practical trainings, so that we designed this program to provide some practical trainings for the nutritionists and maybe some dietitians, because they may want to have more exposure to the community, have more trainings. So we do provide the practical trainings in non-governmental organizations or some private clinics. As you can see the pictures, so there are some community projects for different ages as well. So some children or some different ages and different conditions. So this is also a CEF reimbursable program as well. So, and the next postgraduate program is Master of Science in Sport and Exercise Nutrition. This program is also run in collaboration with Alton University. If you are a degree holder in food and nutrition or biological related sciences or sports related sciences, if you're interested in sport and exercise nutrition, this particular field, this program can be a good option for you. It is a 2-year part-time program, which we want to offer some flexibility in this program. So the lectures are online provided by Alton University. And on top of that, we add some face-to-face tutorials and activities. As Gigi may mention that we have arranged some site visit to Hong Kong Sports Institute, because this area we want to broaden student learning, and we want to have want them to have more better learning experience. And this program is SENR accredited program. So what it means is this is the first international program to gain the Sport and Exercise Nutrition Register program. So with this accreditation, after studying this program, our graduates of the master degree are eligible to be registered as graduate registrant with SENR. And so in this program, the students will learn about the we said, the science part, the mechanism and metabolism part, and also the practical sports nutrition part. And in the last cohort, we have arranged a site visit, and in the upcoming cohort, we also arranged some collaboration with HKSI. So if you are interested, you can consider to study this program. And I will now pass the time to Wendy to talk about our postgraduate program.
Okay, thank you, Cami. And so you've heard a lot already. We've talked about a lot of programs, a lot of names, so you're probably thinking I'm a bit of information overload. But because everybody does have different backgrounds, we just wanted to let everybody know that here at Hong Kong U SPACE, we are able to cater for people who've got different academic backgrounds to enable you to get a degree in food and nutrition, to become a nutritionist, or to work in food industry, and so on and so forth. So we've talked about that now, and I think you've got a good idea of how to become a nutritionist, because you do the degree in food nutrition, got some idea of what nutritionists do. Now I want to talk a little bit about what about dietitians. So let's talk about how to become a dietitian in Hong Kong. Okay, so the first thing I need to talk about really is what's the difference between a nutritionist and a dietitian, because everybody gets the name really confused. So, I mean, and I think what we really want to explain to you today is that actually, if you think about it, and I'm going to explain later on when I talk about the entry requirement to become a dietitian, actually, dietitians can do everything that a nutritionist does. So things like the public health, working in the food industry, actually working in the community, dietitians can do that. The reason why is to get into be a dietitian, you actually have to do a degree in food nutrition first. So it's not because they did any shortcut, it's because we've already done that amount of study. But on top of being able to do those things, dietitians are able to give individualized dietary advice. So they're actually able to provide medical nutrition therapy, which actually nutritionists don't have that additional training to do. So what that means is that they are able to give individual tailor-make advice according to a person's medical condition. Yeah. So what we do is we assess nutritional status, because everybody's different. So you probably say, oh, I've attended a lecture talking about nutrition and diabetes. I know I shouldn't eat any sugar anymore. I should restrict my fat, things like that. But actually, how much should you have? Well, actually, you need to have individualized dietary advice to be able to do that. So what the dietitian does is actually make a nutritional assess your nutritional status. So that would include measuring things like your weight, your height, your percentage, your body composition. We would look at your biochemistry. So, for example, your laboratory values. So, you know, when you've had your blood taken, we take that into consideration. We consider what medications you are on, what treatment modes that you're on. We also consider things like your lifestyle and your current dietary patterns. And we take all that information to try and work out how we can tailor-make a diet that will actually fit you better to help you manage, for example, diabetes, or for example, if you've got kidney failure, how to manage your renal disease, and so on and so forth. So therefore, what we do is after we collected all the information, we make a nutritional diagnosis, we design how we're going to help you make some changes, and then we actually teach you how to do it. Teach you how to do it, it's not just by talking. I mean, it's all good and well just to give you a diet sheet and say, okay, you need to eat 1 bowl of rice and 2 ounces of meat and 1 bowl of vegetables. Well, anybody can do that. But we actually not only teach you and design exactly how much you should have at each time, but we also design about how you're going to implement it. Okay, so because it's very difficult to implement changes, and we know changing dietary behavior is really difficult. So a good part of what we do is nutrition education is one part, but nutrition counseling is another specialist thing that dietitians do. And so that's why we need additional training to do that. And obviously, after we've done that, we need to make sure that we are able to monitor and evaluate your condition to be able to continue to give dietary advice later on. So that's the main difference between what a dietitian does and a nutritionist does. So if you want to become a dietitian in Hong Kong, you're probably thinking, well, where do I start? So Gigi already mentioned that actually here at HKU SPACE, at the moment, we are currently the only institute that offers dietetic training locally. Okay, and so if you want to be able to become a dietitian and you want to study with us, then you'll need to be studying our master's program. So we actually run a set of master's programs. So it's the Master of Science in Human Nutrition and Dietetics. Like we've talked about before, we also run this in collaboration with Ulster University. Okay, so if you look at the literature, you probably see that there's lots of words. We talk about PGD Human Nutrition, we talk about MSc and so on and so forth. But basically what I want to show with you is that we actually offer one program. But this program has 4 different exit points. And so everybody enters into the human nutrition first, and then if you want to further your study, you can go on and do a master's project and end up with an MSc in human nutrition. If you say you want to go on and do dietetics a bit further, and which involves a clinical placement, then you can get a PGD in dietetics and graduate. If you have a PGD in dietetics, you can practice as a dietitian in Hong Kong. If you want, you can also go in and do an additional master's project and then end up with an MSc in dietetics. So even though it sounds like it's 4 different programs, it's still one program, but actually it's with different exit points. So people choose to exit at different points according to their situation. So how do you actually get into the program in the first place? Well, basically, as I mentioned before, if you've got a degree in food and nutrition, then you can have direct entry into the PGD in human nutrition, which is our first entry point. Remember I said there's 4 exit points. So you've got to go into the human nutrition. If you've got a degree in food nutrition, so for example, if you finished our BSc program, you're eligible to apply for this. If you don't have a degree in food nutrition, we will consider applications from people who have degree holders in life sciences. So it may be that you have, for example, a BSc honours in biology, for example. However, if you've got a degree in life sciences, maybe you don't have a lot of the nutrition background. And so there may be a situation where you are required to do additional bridging courses to bring you up to speed, to make you have the same knowledge as the people who've done the food nutrition. Because if you've got a degree in life sciences, we know you already got the science background. It's basically the nutrition component that we need you to make up. If you are that case and you're interested to go and study dietetics and enter the human nutrition as your first step, please, once again, as we've mentioned to you before, if you're not sure, send us your transcripts. We'll have a look at it, and then we can give you individualized advice as to what programs or additional studies that you need to take if you need to. So as I said, the first step is you have a degree in food nutrition or you do something equivalent, and then you can enter into the PGD human nutrition. Once you've done the PGD in human nutrition, as I said before, you can continue to do an MSc project and end up with an MSc in human nutrition. So you're probably thinking, well, why do some people just do human nutrition? Well, we do have a number of health professionals who want to have advanced degrees in nutrition. So, for example, we've had a lot of medical doctors, pharmacists, other health professionals who would find nutrition knowledge helpful in their current careers. So they may be only interested in doing human nutrition rather than just doing the dietetics, because they're not aiming to change career. Okay, so they would enter and do the human nutrition. So people who are interested and have already got degrees in those areas, you might want to just do the human nutrition. For the majority of the students that want to come into our program, they're interested to become a dietitian. So once you've done the human nutrition, because it's a very highly competitive course, we have large numbers of people. Because unfortunately, we're the only people that offer the course at the moment, we have a lot of applicants, so we do have selection. So once you've done the human nutrition, we do further selection for those who can go on to the dietetics. If you are successfully selected into the dietetics program, basically you need to complete 1 additional module as well as 28 weeks of clinical placement. The human nutrition component is taught part-time, so you can continue to work. So you studied 2 nights a week and Saturday afternoons. But once you go into dietetics and do the placement, that has to be full-time. So if you think about it, the first year is part-time, but the second year must be full-time because you have to go to the hospitals to do that full-time. And as I said, then if you graduate with a PGD in dietetics, obviously you can practice as a dietitian in Hong Kong. Our program enables you to gain registration as a dietitian with the Health and Professions Council in the UK, but more importantly, it enables you to become an accredited dietitian on the accredited register that's in Hong Kong as well, with the Hong Kong Academy of Accredited Dietitians. So obviously that's the most important thing, I think. And then if you're really interested, then you can do an MSc project. Okay, so I've talked a little bit about our sort of like we call it our flagship program, and that's probably because we've been running it the longest. So let's sort of do a little bit of a recap. So we talked a lot about programs that we're offering, and so just to help you think about and plan your studies, I've just given a list of programs that are coming up pretty soon, so that you can start planning to manage your study. If you see that there's one program that's started, and that's the Advanced Certificate in Nutrition. For those of you who haven't really decided, is this the career move I want to make? Or you just want to learn something for yourself, get a start, we would strongly recommend that you start with the Advanced Certificate in Nutrition. So the next intake for the Advanced Certificate Nutrition is starting in early July. If you're interested to do that at the July intake, then I would strongly recommend you to apply as soon as possible, because the application deadline for this program is closing soon, because it's starting soon, okay? We do offer the Advanced Certificate in Nutrition twice a year. So we offer that in July, but we also offer it every January. Okay, for the other programs that we've got there, they are only offered once a year. So the other program that's coming up pretty soon is our Advanced Certificate in Clinical Nutrition and Health Promotion. That was the program that Cami introduced to you that talks a bit about clinical but also talks about health promotion. Okay, so that's coming up in July. Another one we've got is the Advanced Certificate in Sport and Exercise Nutrition. Remember, that's the CEF course, and that's coming up in July as well. So basically, we've got sort of 3 coming up very soon: Advanced Certificate in Nutrition, Advanced Certificate in Clinical Nutrition, Advanced Certificate in Sport Nutrition. As I said, if you don't have any idea what you want to do, probably the best start Advanced Certificate in Nutrition. But also, if you don't have any idea what you want to do, but you already have an interest in sport nutrition, then you can consider doing the Advanced Certificate in Sport and Exercise Nutrition first, because that's your interest. Okay, so that's really up to you. Or if you're interested in the clinical area, you can consider that first. But as I said before, we do recommend the Advanced Certificate in Nutrition as a starting point, because that means you're grading your studies and stepping upwards. Other programs that are coming up later in the year are the Advanced Certificate in Human Biochemistry and Physiology, which is the program Gigi shared with you about. And also we talked about the BSc. So we have both a full-time and part-time offering. And once again, they will be opening fairly soon. So you'd want to give some serious consideration to making applications for those if you're interested. And finally, we have the Postgraduate Certificate in Community Nutrition, which we're opening at November of this year. But obviously, the Postgraduate Certificate in Community Nutrition is only open for those of you who already have a degree in food nutrition. Okay, so you must have a degree in food nutrition for the postgrad cert. Okay? Okay, so now I just want to share with you with another upcoming program that we have. I know some of you, if you've studied some of our programs before, you might have heard that we have Advanced Diploma in Nutrition and an Advanced Diploma in Child and Adolescent Nutrition. But recently, these 2 programs have undergone a restructuring. So previously, if you did 2 advanced certs, you could get an advanced diploma. But with the restructuring, that no longer exists anymore. So from January of next year, we will now be offering an Advanced Diploma in Nutrition. And from July, we'll be offering an Advanced Diploma in Child and Adolescent Nutrition. And so basically, the 2 Advanced Diploma programs, the first 3 modules are the same. The differences come in the last 2 modules. And the last 2 modules, you'll be doing some classes with the other Advanced Certificate programs. So if you are not interested to go to BSc that level, but you want a little bit more than Advanced Certificate, you can consider to do the Advanced Diploma in Nutrition. So look out for those. They will be starting for early in January of next year. Okay? And now I'm going to pass you back to Cami, who's going to share with you just the ending.
A few more. So there are a few more programs. I believe some of you may already have our flyers, and there are some foundation certificates or short courses that you may be interested, because we do offer different areas like health or nutrition for brain and mental well-being, and different types of diet that we want to share with you. So you can go to our website as well. So here is the other information. So 1 p.m. talk is coming up. So if you would like to learn more about how sports nutrition can empower athletes' performance, like sports performance, you can register here. You can scan it, and then the date is 21st of June, and it will be a lunch talk. Yes, and then if you would like to know more about our talks or like the new programs coming up, you can go to our Facebook and also Instagram to learn more as well. So now I think to see if you have any questions about our programs, and we can still have some time for some questions.
Yeah, thank you for your attention. So let's move into the Q&A session. We will we first address the questions in the room first, and then go to the questions in the chat box on YouTube. Do you have any questions for audience in the room? Yeah, feel free to speak up.
Thank you. Regarding the full-time bachelor program, how many course and how much class time would there be per week?
Usually, you mean how many courses in the whole program? Per week, it depends on the class schedule. Usually, we have 2 to 3 days of study. Yeah, usually we leave 1 to 2 days for students to really do their own study. Yeah, so you
3 days of full-time class.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes half day, sometimes it will be full day. Depends on the course schedule. Yeah, but you can anticipate some break in every week.
So that would be roughly 20 hours of class time?
Less than 20.
Any more questions in the room?
Where can we send our transcripts for further assessment of the appropriate entry point of the program?
Yeah, actually, on every of our leaflets, we have a email showing the inquiry. If you have any inquiry, you can send your questions to there. But if you are not sure which email to, I would recommend you to just send to nutrition@hongkonuspace.hku.hk. That's the easiest way. So you don't have to figure out who to send to.
Because we'll sort it out. Any more questions from the room? Yeah.
I would like to know more about the pathway for degree holders in other disciplines. You have introduced 4 bridging courses. I would like to know more, in particular, the advanced certificate in food science and human biochemistry. For those students without any science background, do you think it would be a difficulty? Is there any difficulty to taking these courses?
For the food science and biochemistry program, we recommend students without science background to take some short courses to equip them with biology and chemistry knowledge before they get into the program. Otherwise, students always find very challenging to really capture all the concepts we teach in the programs. So we recommend students without science background to take some short courses in biology and chemistry.
So are those short courses included here, flyer?
Not in the flyer, but you can see that on our website.
Okay, so also in this faculty?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
If there are no further questions from the floor, let us move to the questions on the YouTube.
Okay, so for the sake of the people in the room, we do have a question concerning the postgraduate diploma in dietetics program. So for the program, actually we obviously this applicant knows a lot about the program. So for this program, if you recall, we have the PGD in human nutrition first, and then we have further selection to the PGD in dietetics. As I mentioned earlier, we have a large number of people who would like to gain entry to the program. So I have to say competition is pretty fierce. So yes, we will select based mostly on an academic way in the first selection to human nutrition, but we also have an interview. And so at the interview, we would look at your interest and aptitude to become a dietitian in the future. What we will do is generally the number of people that we take in the program will vary from cohort to cohort. Why? Because it depends on the number of clinical placements that the hospital authority are able to offer us. So for the last, I think 3 cohorts, every time they've given us 32 placements, okay, per cohort. And that's happened for the last. I don't know if next time they will give us more or less, but we do it for each cohort. So basically what we will do is we know that we have 32 places for the PGD in dietetics. So when we are selecting into the PGD human nutrition, we take more students into the program than we know we have places for. So for example, for the last cohort, we had 32 places for dietetics available. What we did was we took 42 students into the PGD human nutrition to compete for the 32 places in dietetics. You're saying the person on the question was asking why don't we give the same number of places as for the number of places that we have. The reason is because the number of clinical placements is really tight. we find that it's extremely important that we don't waste any placement places. Based on experience, we know that students either change their mind, life things get in the way, things happen, okay? And so they decide not to pursue dietetics later on. So therefore, to ensure that we don't waste any places in the dietetics, we always have an extra gap. So we always take more people than we have in human nutrition that I know have places for. So generally it's around 10 if it's for 42 to 32, yeah? In the last few cohorts, it's pretty much been okay. That the number of students who want to go into dietetics really are able to offer places. So for 2 cohorts previously, yes. For the current cohort, yes, I still have a number of students who are, because I have a current cohort. And so, yes, I do have a number of students who completed human nutrition, waiting for a placement place that we don't have yet. But because batch 2 haven't started yet, and batch 2, I have students who withdraw. And so some of those people on the waiting list will move up. So based on experience, we find that 10 is about right, because actually at the end of the day, we are able to offer anybody who actually wanted to and didn't change their mind, and was eligible, obviously, because you have to do well enough in human nutrition, a place. So I hope that answers the question. Yeah.
Thank you, Wendy. And some more questions also about the PGD in Human Nutrition program. So this Jackie want to know when will be the next enrollment for the PGD in Human Nutrition?
Okay, so very good question. We are planning to have our next intake next year. Originally, we were planning to have it first half of 2025. The reason why we haven't got a confirmed date is because this program will be doing revalidation with Ulster University. So there may be some changes to the program. So we are waiting for that to take place. So if that takes place pretty soon, we will start probably earlier in 2025. If it takes a bit later, then it'll be a bit later than probably the third quarter of 2025. Anyway, it'll definitely be next year, but exactly which month we don't know. Stay tuned to our website. As soon as we have any information, we put it up straight away to let students know, and and also stay in contact with us from time to time. I think the best thing is just to check the website every now and then if there's any changes. But yeah, look out from. You don't have to start looking at this year. Start looking out from probably end of this year would be the next thing. We'll be looking at it. Yeah.
Some further questions also about the PGD program. Any scholarship available, and also any requirement on the fluency of Cantonese?
Okay, so 2 very good questions. Unfortunately, we don't have any scholarships available, though we would like to. We don't actually have any government support for this, so it's a self-funded program. I don't know in the future if anybody will give us some great donation. We would welcome donations for being able to offer. We want to be able to offer scholarships, but at the moment we don't have any. And to the second question, Cantonese, yes, yes. So the program is taught in English, okay, but because it's an Ulster program, yeah. However, the placements take place in hospital authority hospitals, which means the majority of the patients you're going to be serving speak Cantonese. So yes, you need to speak fluent Cantonese to be able to undertake the placement. And yes, we will ask you that during the interviews and assess that as well. We don't have any specific level for Chinese, like, for example, people ask me, is there a HKCE special level for Chinese or anything? There's no, just you need to be able to demonstrate that you can converse and you're not hampered in being able to communicate with your patients, basically.
So thank you very much, Wendy. And also thank you for all the audience in the room and also those on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. And if you wish to know more about our programs, you can follow us on our Facebook and IG to stay tuned with our most updated news. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Bye-bye.